What is up guys, Dzeeff here, and today we are taking a look at some OCG card reveals. Now 3 of these cards are from the Legendary Monsters pack, which I guess is all about reimagining iconic old school monsters, and one of the cards is a V-Jump promo, but even that one is a retrain of an older card. Now we have no idea when these cards will make their way into the TCG. These are only OCG cards right now, and even in the OCG they haven't quite released yet, so it'll be a little while before we get these cards in our format. I do want to mention, because the last time I didn't mention it and it confused a lot of people, I'm showing you guys the English translations for these cards, but like I said, these have not been announced for the TCG. You'll see on the cards there is a website link, and that goes to the person that makes all of these translated cards. It's really helpful for talking about them instead of having to use the Japanese versions on the screen. So just so you guys know, these are not the official translations, these are not the official TCG versions, they are simply translations of the OCG cards, but they are a lot easier to read. Also, we are so close to 150,000 subscribers, we are just a few hundred away, so if you have not subscribed yet but you have been enjoying the recent uploads, make sure to subscribe right now if you haven't already. First up, we have Gilta the D-Knight Soul Spear. So this is a retrain of that older fusion monster that has no effect. I believe that card has seen some play as an instant fusion target, but not a ton of competitive success. So let's take a look at what this new card does. It is still a level 5 light warrior effect monster with 1850 attack and 1500 defense, but luckily this time around it does have an effect. If you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing. When this card is normal summoned, you can banish one monster your opponent controls with attack higher than or equal to this card's. You can discard one card, add one level 7 Dark Dragon monster, one level 6 Dark Machine monster, or one level 5 Water Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Gilta the D-Knight Soul Spear once per turn. So wow, this card is pretty interesting. That on summon banish effect is pretty easy to trigger, could be pretty good going second especially. I think most monsters that you'd want to banish probably do have more than 1850 attack. So what's up with that searching effect? Well, the original version of this card was used by Joey Wheeler in the anime, and it was a main deck monster, by the way, not a fusion monster, so it's pretty cool to see that this retrain is a main deck monster as well. The card wants to search out cards like Red Eyes and Jinzo and the Legendary Fisherman, but there are plenty of other great targets, and I can't talk about all of them in one video, but let me go over a few highlights in each category. For the level 7 Dark Dragon monster, the 2 biggest targets are going to be Dark Armed Dragon and Phantasme. Both of these cards have seen tons of competitive play over the years. Phantasme is currently very good, so if you want a way to search it, this might be the card to do so. For the level 6 Dark Machine targets, I think that Jinzo is pretty good, especially if you are playing a Jinzo deck. You also have some Cosmo monsters, Dogfighter, and Landwalker are level 6 Dark Machines. Beyond that, there's not a lot. You do have a couple World Legacy cards, I guess, and Time Eater could be pretty funny as well, but I honestly feel like Jinzo might be one of the better search targets if you really want to search a machine. Now for the level 5 Warrior Water monster, you don't have a ton of choices. Of course, you can search the Legendary Fisherman or the Legendary Fisherman 2. Those could be pretty interesting. Beyond that, I think the best target is going to be General Wayne of the Ice Barrier. This is a pretty great card. It gives you a free special summon and it searches a card when you summon it. So I like this card a lot, and maybe it could be pretty good to search out in an Ice Barrier deck. That being said, Ice Barriers already have a few different ways to get to this card, so I don't realistically know how common that would be, but it is an option. So this card has a cool on summon effect, and it can search a whole bunch of good cards. I think it does have some real potential. Next up, we have Mystical Elf Mystical Burst Stream. Holy crap, I love that artwork of Mystical Elf and Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is a level 4 light spellcaster effect monster with 800 attack attack and 2000 defense. When a monster your opponent controls activates its effect while you control a level 5 or higher normal monster, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate that effect. During your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you can target one normal monster in either graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, while you control it, all monsters your opponent controls must attack it this turn if able. You can only use each effect of Mystical Elf Mystical Burst Stream once per turn. Wow, this card is interesting. This is the one that I've seen the most amount of discussion around, and I think I understand why. This card could be pretty great in any deck playing level 5 or higher normal monsters. Now that obviously could be Blue Eyes, it could be Dark Magician, it could be a deck we don't really have right now. It does have a lot of potential. That effect to negate a monster effect by special summoning it from the hand, that is a big deal, and it does work really well in a Blue Eyes deck, maybe even a Dark Magician deck like I mentioned. It is a spellcaster monster after all. The Lightning Rod effect isn't as flashy, your opponent can probably play around it in most situations, but maybe you negated their one big effect and now they have a bunch of smaller monsters. It could be a pretty funny way to close out a duel. This card is not super complicated, but it does have two pretty great effects, and I think that it could be a welcome addition to any deck playing level 5 or higher normal monsters. Next up, we have Kassir Glider Golden Burst, also from the Legendary Monsters box. We still have one more card to cover, but this was the final of the Legendary Monster box cards in today's video. This is a level 6 light dragon effect monster with 2000 attack and 2400 defense. It says quick effect, you can tribute one monster, special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Kassir Glider Golden Burst once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. This card's attack becomes equal to that monster's until the end of this turn. This card is a lot worse than the previous two. I'm not going to pretend it's a lot better than it really is. It's okay, I guess, if you want a free level 6 monster on the board, but it's not really free, right? You have to tribute a monster. I don't think the attack boosting effect on this card matters at all. I don't think that's very relevant. If this card ends up seeing any play, which it very well might not, it would be because it is a special summonable level 6 monster. That's mostly generic. Still, this is by far the worst of the 3 reveals that we had today from the Legendary Monster box, and I don't really feel like I need to say anything else. Finally, we have Harpies Pet Dragon Fearsome Fire Blast. Like I said, this card is a V-Jump promo. It is not part of the same set, but even the naming convention seems very similar to the previous 3 cards. This is a level 7 Wind Dragon effect monster with 2000 attack and 2500 defense. None of that is very surprising. Monsters cannot target level 6 or lower Harpy monsters for attacks. You can only use each of the following effects of Harpies Pet Dragon Fearsome Fire Blast once per turn. If you control a level 6 or lower wind monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send one wind winged beast monster from your deck to the graveyard. So this card is going to be played in Harpies almost certainly because those last 2 effects are great. The free special summon is very nice, and the effect that it mills a wind winged beast monster is pretty good as well. I like this card a lot. It's like a free extender for Harpy players, and that will be welcome to that deck. I know Harpies aren't in the best spot right now, but they do have some pretty powerful cards, and this will make Harpies a lot better. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below which one of these cards you are most excited about. I'll see you later. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.